Hi everyone, welcome to our cybersecurity stall. So feel free to walk around and take a look at our stall. So today I'm going to talk about what cybersecurity is, possible attacks, security mechanisms, best practices, and what you can do today to self-learn cybersecurity. Okay, now let's get started. First of all, do you know what cybersecurity is? Cybersecurity is a huge area in the electronic world. Cybersecurity is also called the practice of defending computers, servers, mobile devices, electronic systems, networks, and data from malicious attacks. Information technology security or electronic information security are aliases for cybersecurity. Now, why do we need cybersecurity in our lives? Cybersecurity is very important and necessary since it helps in securing data from various cyber attacks and cyber crimes like man in the middle, malware, phishing, viruses, etc. As people who are heavily involved in technology, we are vulnerable to many such said attacks. So it's better to take preventive measures than regretting it later. Cybersecurity helps us protect our sensitive data from hackers, crackers, and give it protection. It is essential, therefore, to take cybersecurity seriously as it could save your computer system from falling into wrong hands. We can describe cybersecurity under 6 different sectors. Let's see what they are. Network security. It's the practice of securing a computer network from intruders. Application security, which focuses on keeping software and devices free of threats. Information security, protecting the integrity and privacy of data. Operational security, it's about the permission given to users on handling data. Disaster recovery and business continuity. It talks about how an organization responds to security incidents that causes the loss of operation or data. And finally, end user education. It's about teaching end users good cybersecurity practices. Since we covered a bit about what cybersecurity is, let's hop on to see what types of attacks we might encounter. When it comes to cybersecurity, there are various kinds of attacks. Among them, malware, phishing, and man-in-the-middle attacks are the most common ones. Let's talk about malware first. Malware has various kinds of forms such as viruses, trojans, worms, ransomware, and spyware. Usually, people become victims of this malware by clicking on unknown links, using cracked softwares, opening unknown email attachments coming from unknown email addresses. Malware has various kinds of intentions: denying access to users, stealing user or system information, and disrupting systems are few of such intentions. Another thing to keep in mind is due to the number of various forms of emails, it's quite a bit hard to find which kind of malware we are facing. Now let's talk about phishing. Phishing also has various forms such as whaling and farming. They also come into the user system by malicious links and in the form of text messages. The intention of phishing is also the same as malware. Phishing attacks are done to steal user credentials or sensitive information and gain access to systems. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Denial of service or DOS is another very common type of attack used on the internet. In most of the cases, the intention of the attacker is to deny the service provided by a particular website or a server. Attackers conduct these DOS attacks using various kinds of methodologies. Some do it using botnets, SYN flood attacks, and ICMP flood attacks. Out of these methods, botnets are quite hard to identify as we cannot specifically find the location where the attacks come from. Now let's talk about the man-in-the-middle attacks. In man-in-the-middle attacks, attackers exploit the common vulnerabilities and weaknesses in the system and put themselves into the network and start manipulating the devices in the network. In most of the cases, they take advantage of the security breaches in public Wi-Fi and hotspot. WhatsApp man-in-the-middle attacks are conducted to steal user information or credentials. Now, what can you do to avoid such situations? One best practice is to use HTTPS or secure HTTP to transfer web traffic. But if you use HTTP instead of HTTPS, there is a chance of a DOS attack. Also, it is best to use proper encryption if you want to stay away from a DOS attack. Now that we are done talking about attacks, let's talk about the security mechanisms we see around us that helps in preventing some of the attacks we've mentioned before. So, what exactly is a security mechanism? It's a collection of technical tools and techniques we can use to implement various security services. There are so many security mechanisms. So let's talk about the main ones here. Now, what is encryption? Encryption is the process of encoding information. And decryption is the process of transforming the encrypted text, which we usually call the ciphertext, back into the normal text, that is the plain text. So, how does this work? We don't just insert a key and get a ciphertext. There's a middleman that does the work. It's none other than the algorithm we use. All these algorithms can be categorized under two sections. One is symmetric encryption. That is, both sender and receiver are using one shared key. DES, triple DES, AES are just few examples for this. Next category is asymmetric encryption. Here sender and receiver are using two different keys. RSA and Diffie-Hellman are two examples for this. Now, let's go into depth about few of them in the next slides. Now, what is DES? DES stands for Data Encryption Standard. It was published by the National Institute of Standards and Technology in USA. DES is of type block cipher. So what is a block cipher? A block cipher is a type of algorithm that takes in a fixed amount of bits which we call as blocks. So in DES we insert a fixed 64-bit plain text which results in a fixed 64-bit ciphertext. If you look at the picture to the right, you can see the inside mechanism of DES. It takes in a 64-bit size plain text, permutates it 16 times using Feistel network and outputs a 64-bit ciphertext. Now, DES is outdated, and why is that? A major criticism of DES was regarding its small key size. The key is just 56 bits long, so it's easy to break, thus making DES vulnerable. Therefore, nowadays we use triple DES, which is a variation of DES. Today's applications mostly use triple DES with 3 keys. AES is also another alternative for AES. Let's see what AES is about. What is this AES? AES is called Advanced Encryption Standard. It's published by NIST. AES was originally called RAINDAL. Now AES decrypts data blocks of 128 bits. If you look to your right, you can see that 10 rounds use 128-bit size key, 12 rounds use 192-bit size key, and 14 rounds use 256-bit size key. So AES has 3 types of rounds and the key size depends on the number of rounds. Now, how secure is AES? Most of the known attacks against DES were already tested on AES. For an example, when it comes to brute force attacks, AES is more secure due to its large key size. As for the statistical attacks, it has shown that the statistical analysis of the ciphertext has failed in AES. So AES is pretty secured against statistical attacks. Finally, when we talk about differential and linear attacks, so far no such record on AES. So we can quite confidently say that AES is really secure against certain attacks. What are the other benefits of AES? Now these algorithms used in AES are really simple. So these can be easily implemented using cheap microprocessors and a minimum amount of RAM. Now let's talk about what RSA is. Unlike DES and AES, RSA is an asymmetric encryption algorithm. In an asymmetric algorithm, instead of one single shared key, 2 keys, namely private key and public key, are used. RSA is widely used with better in-RASI support. Usually, RSA key sizes are larger. They come in either 1024 bits, 2048 bits or 3072 bits. Now, so far everything seems really good with RSA. Any disadvantages or threats? Although larger keys would increase the security, it also increases the processing time of the algorithm. So, because of heavy calculations, execution speed is quite slow in RSA. If you look to your right, you can see a diagram on how RSA is calculated. As you can see, the security of RSA depends on the difficulty of factoring large numbers. Therefore, if there's any method like quantum computing is used one day to factor large numbers, then RSA will be threatened. Now that we got to know about the attacks and some of the security mechanisms, let's see what we can do to protect ourselves from cybersecurity threats. What is called a best practice in cybersecurity? Cyberspace is like a body. It's an organism with systems, strengths and vulnerabilities. And to stay healthy, you need a strategy and a plan in the same way you would plan on being healthy, going to workouts and going to see the doctor on a regular basis. Now we can recommend you some of the best practices. So, here I am going to explain about 6 best practices. First, use a firewall. Firewalls are softwares or hardware that work as a filtration system for the data attempting to enter your computer or network. Firewalls scan packets for malicious code or attack vectors that have already been identified as established threat. Should a data packet be flagged and determined to be a security risk, the firewall prevents it from entering the network or reaching your computer. Secondly, we can use multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication is a security technology that requires multiple methods of authentication from independent categories of credentials to verify a user identity for login or other transaction. Now the goal of multi-factor authentication is to create a layered defense that makes it difficult for an unauthorized person to access the target. For an instance, if one factor is compromised or broken, the attacker still has at least one or more barrier to breach before successfully breaking into the target. Then we can enforce safe password practices. Now, passwords, when used correctly, are an extremely simple and effective way to protect data and IT systems from unauthorized access. However, many individuals continue to use passwords in a way which exposes them to risk, then easily can be cracked. So how can an individual prevent this situation? A key recommendation is to use a strong, non-predictable password. It is also important not to use the same password for everything, and make sure to make a good password. Regularly backing up all data is also a best practice. While it's important to prevent as many attacks as possible, it is still possible to be breached regardless of your precautions. Therefore, it is recommended to back up your important files. Be sure to also back up all data stored on the cloud. Make sure that backups are stored in a separate location in case of a fire or flood. To ensure that you will have the latest backup if you ever need it, check your backup regularly to ensure that it is functioning correctly. And the final thing is patching. It's important to have a strategy to ensure that all of your software and hardware is regularly patched and updated. We are coming to the end of our presentation, but we are not done yet. Are you interested in learning more about cybersecurity? Don't worry, there are so many pathways you can take. You can follow online courses on cybersecurity, or you can self-study by watching YouTube videos. Cisco Institute conducts several cybersecurity courses that you can follow, and also you can read their magazine sites and presentations about these fields. Also, you can watch videos from the channels like Network Chuck, Hackersploit, and videos of David Bombal in YouTube. These videos are very good and they have very good contents on cybersecurity. If you really like to try out or test something related to cybersecurity, you can use these sites: Hack the Box and Pentest Lab. Go try them and have fun. Do you like to have a professional qualification in cybersecurity? Then you can follow these online courses in Cisco and EC Council. You can search for other institutions as well for more courses. So that's it from us. We hope you enjoyed our presentation, and if you have more questions, feel free to ask us. Have a very good day.